Hey guys, today we want to talk about some things that you can do at your end to manage what we call your post-presentation sales pipeline. So Nick, we know that feeling of having all these deals, let's call them, in the pipeline, and just having them not convert, just having those forecasts that are not hitting the mark.
Those forecasts, when they're off the mark, they can really be a negative on culture. The reason being is you've got salespeople coming in every day thinking on their on-target earnings, based on their deal pipeline, they're gonna make X amount this year. You've also got other stakeholders within the business. You know, the marketing department think we're gonna have all this budget coming through because all this revenue is gonna come forward. You've also got the board sitting out there making these predictions, like managing the hiring and the growth of the business around it. And when it falls short, usually when it falls very short of the mark, as a result of that, culture suffers, turnover increases, and overall the morale within that organization can become quite negative.
So it's really, really critical that you're doing everything in your power to manage expectations and keep the needle moving, so to speak. So there's a few tactics that we employ over here. The first thing I'll start with is saying, resist the urge to send a quote after that inaugural meeting, okay? I mean, sure, sometimes people might be chomping at the bit for it. You need to look at that as more of an introductory, as more of a blind date, okay? Where you're just getting to know each other. You're really trying to understand each other's capabilities and each other's problems. Once you understand that problem, what you want to do is, again, resist the urge to say, oh, our product will fix it, here's an invoice. That is the number one way to have an artificially inflated pipeline. What you want to do is actually set a second meeting and take a solution-based mindset and say, you know what? I know where you're at. I think I can help you. Let me go back. Let me put something forward that's a little bit more specific to you. Okay? Are you free in 7 days? Are you free in 10 days? And then come back and offer something bespoke. It's only after you've done that that you should now be putting the quote into play.
100%. And anyone in professional services, whether you go to a mechanic or whatever else, they're not just going to send you a quote, they're going to come in and diagnose your problem. You need to have the same mindset when you're in sales. When it comes to that second meeting as well, the other thing that you want to do is you want to know what is the actual decision-making process within this company. You know, does it need a CFO sign-off? Does this person need to bring their manager along? Do they even have budget right now? All these things are relevant, and all these things are going to affect that when you send that quote out, whether it gets signed off quickly or whether it doesn't even get signed off at all. So make sure you know which stakeholders are involved in the decision-making process, because that will help tailor your communications post that meeting and post that quote.
Absolutely, and it is okay to put your best foot forward and have somebody come back to you and say, hey, you know what, thank you for your time, but we're going through something at the moment. Thank you for your time, but we're probably about 6 months away based on what you're positioning. That's great, because again, now you don't have this artificially inflated pipeline. Now the next move after that, assuming it's gone well, now you've got the information, who's involved in this process, now you want to send a quote, but be mindful to put an expiration date on the quote. And don't just put an arbitrary expiration date on it. You want the expiration date to be specific to the nature of the industry. So let's say you're doing a B2C sale on a small ticket item and you're doing some sort of special offer. Okay, it might be appropriate to have a 7, 10, 20 day, 21 day expiration date on the offer. So let's say on the other hand, you're doing an enterprise deal. Maybe asking for a deal in under 30 days is a little bit unrealistic, especially if it's got to go through a fair bit of sign-off. So find the appropriate expiration date that suits your organization, but also is appropriate for the decision makers that are involved in the sales process. And once you've figured out what that expiration date is, put it in writing.
And then make sure, let's say if that timeline is 45 days with enterprise, you're sending regular touch points over those 45 days. Now those touch points can come in the form of an email, which could have a case study of a previous client that had a tremendous experience with the underlying product. It could come in the form of an email, which might have some form of an return on investment matrix in it, which shows them that their money is going to be well spent. Make sure though, all these touch points are coming from a value add lens, because that is going to be less taxing on you. Prospect is going to have a great experience, and you're going to see a shorter sales cycle.